Hello, welcome to Exotic Gardening UK with me, Yorkshire Kris, and on this week's episode we're doing the full 2023 garden tour. I'll do the same routes as I always do on these videos that I've done for the last 10 years, starting at the back gate, so going into the back garden. If I just turn around, that's the side of the house, got a nice pot display there, but you'll see that on a different video. So in the back garden we've got these pots on the deck with various plants. I'm rather pleased with this one here because this is just made out of cuttings that I did from overwintered cuttings. So we've got the plectranthus here and we've also got the irisine here. So these cuttings were taken in May this year and then just planted in this pot, and it's filled out rather nicely. A nice aroid here as well that comes through every winter, kept bone dry indoors, so it has no foliage, no roots, anything, and then it quickly makes a nice plant. Got it in this pot as well. Looks rather tropical but very, very easy going. Got the name on the screen there as well for you. So we'll do the normal route round the garden. So as you come in, got a big open area, got the wood chip down here, and then if we turn to the right in the sunshine, we've got a few nice palm trees. We've got the Trachycarpus nova up there that's doing pretty well. We've got the Ariaspatha here, really elegant boutia palm, and above that we've got the Pseudopanax, crassifolius and ferox, which have grown rather large over the years, so they're doing well. Underneath we've got the purple fantasy, Persicaria purple fantasy, that had the Chelsea chop, a bit belated, and then it's regrown, so you've got these nice chevron leaves. We've got a pretty good example here of a Trachycarpus Gemini sectus. Got my carnivorous plants. These pitcher plants have been as fly traps in the pots here, they've been in there for many years now, need dividing. And then if we look round at this time of day and year, and with the size of the bamboos, there's a lot of shade here. So we've got the blue bamboo here, Barinda papyrifera 1046, blue culms on this one, and that's made a nice big plant. This was a 2-cane division back in June 2018, so it's been there 5 years now and it's made a good plant. And then the mother plant is over here, and that is absolutely huge now. Nice big spread on that one. It's a good, I would say, 3.5–4 meters tall. And I've got the underplanting of hostas there. Got a Trachycarpus tachylcamone here, so not the true tachyle, and that's an elegant palm, quite like that one. Got the princeps palms over here, which we planted or transplanted, was it 3 years ago now? We've got 3 of various sizes here. Got the smallest one on the right hand side, and I've also got a Martianus cross still in a pot that I will plant out at some point as well, and a bit of summer bedding. Here, this is the main colourful bed. So we've got the irisine, and we've also got some Coleus or Solenstomum down there. Got the nice party time down here, which I plant out, and that's doing well. Got lots of other plants that have grown from seed, like the Cleome here. We've got the cannas, so this is Canna musifolia, not as big as this time last year, but it's survived in the ground totally fine, and it's about 5 foot tall at the highest, so still got a lot of growing to do. Behind you got a good waggy here, and we've got in the shade over there at the moment, we've got a Martianus that's regrown its leaves, because that one did defoliate after the particularly cold winter we had compared to recent winters. And we'll go around here now. We can see we've got more summer bedding. We've got the Spanish flag growing up the bamboo, that's yet to flower, so it's a couple of weeks behind, but that will be flowering I'm sure in August. And we'll come round and we've got the various dahlias now, lots of different dahlias, add lots of colour to this part of the garden. The first half of the back garden is more of a jungle, exotic, tropical feel before we go into the dry, arid style part of the garden. I also have grown quite a lot of tobacco flowers from seed this year. I think they really add to this part of the garden. They don't mind the dappled shade, nice starry flowers, and they're so easy from seed, and they've been flowering for quite a long time now. Grown lots of zinnias from seed in every single colour, and some are double, some are single. This is a nice sort of tangerine coloured one, but there's literally reds and creams and pinks and violets everywhere, so you'll see them in this video. So this is a view here. That plant there is a tree dahlia, one of two types of tree dahlias, and that's yet to get going fully, so that'll get twice as tall and fill the space right up here. And I did do a video on how to grow tree dahlias, which you can find on my channel. Cleome in full bloom now, looking good. Butterflies love this. It's a nice flower for the garden. Behind we've got one Musabaju there that I've actually moved from further down the garden to this spot. And last year's Musabaju, which covered this area, got knocked back to the ground, and there are only small pups you can hardly see in the background here. So that's the view looking that way. If I turn fully around, we've got the shadier side, so we've got the tree ferns here, which are doing well. We've got another Nova there. We've got some Schefflers, and we've got some Polycarpus here as well. And they're in the shade of the Berinda bamboo behind. And I've got a tall Trachycarpus right up there as well. Got my hedge of bamboos, which you can see nice and tall. These are Fagecia robusta, got about 10 metres of that. And then we've got some nice Persicarias down here with lime leaves and little pinky purple flowers, which I think go well with the exotic look. And behind that I've got some Musa sycamensis, so I've got three pups from the original plant that got cut to the ground over winter, but it's come back nicely, and you can see the leaves, they're pretty much solid maroon on these. Really nice coloration on these, so it's quite a nice form of Musa sycamensis. Got Canna Cleopatra there as well. Got a bit more Musifolia behind. Got a Mahonia soft caress, Ginger forestii. We've got Clerodendron up here as well. We've got Fatsia here, various types. Got Mosari, we've got Annalise here as well. That's a nice healthy plant. Right above us we've got a Calopanax tree, high up there with a thorny trunk. And then we'll come back to the sunnier side now. Got a nice Trachycarpus princeps hybrid, getting nice and tall up there. Lots of sunbedding here, loads of Solenstomum down here, nice colours. The bladed leaves here, these are gladiolus that haven't flowered. They're from little corms I planted a few months ago. And this is Amesia zygomaris. Really interesting leaves on here. You can see them. It's quite a blustery day, so hopefully the sound quality keeps up being pretty good against all this wind. But yeah, that's a nice plant. It will flower end of August into September and October, but the flowers are quite insignificant. The foliage that we grow this plant for. And then we go around to more colour here. We've got nasturtiums. Got these wonderful large Tigridia flowers. These grow from bulbs, and just for people who don't watch all my videos, nothing at all was protected last winter, so everything has come back from ground level, no mulch or anything, including these cannas. This is Canna Alisteinii, which are easily 2 meters tall, plus then the flower spikes on top. So that's grown that large since it started poking its head up in April, May time. Nice good clump of that. Got some ricinus there. Got some nice echinaceas down here, and more tobacco plants. Here is the pretty rare and hopefully elegant palm if it survives the winters. This is the cross of Butia aries spatha crossed with Cyagrus. So hopefully that'll be a hardy feather palm that will look very elegant in years to come if it survives the winters. So that's that view looking back. And then big clump here of ginger Hedychium freshii that starts flowering normally for me at the end of August into September. Got a nice Inula magnifica there. Butterflies absolutely adore this. Normally the commas and red emeralds are on this. Above I've got a very tall but very unhappy looking tree fern, which I thought I'd lost, but that has just hung on. It's not looking great. And then here is a plant that a lot of people think is not hardy, and it's definitely still debatable, but if we look up, it's nice and tall now. We've got the wonderful umbrella tree, Scheffler macrophylla, with its huge leaves, and that is taller than me now. Just lift the camera pretty high up. There we can see it. Absolutely wonderful tree. If we look under it, there we go. Love this, and it's come through the winter with not too much harm. It did lose its old leaves, but it's flushed out lots of new leaves. Got a loquat up here, and then I've got a nice Aralia with absolutely huge leaves, although it's made out of lots of little leaflets, but the actual leaf is very large. This is one of the variegated types. Can't even get it all in frame. And then a nice big Gunnera cryptica up here, calling it Gunnera cryptica. You can see my videos on Gunneras and why it's no longer classed as Manacata. Jungle hut. We've got the nice zebra grass on one side, and we've got the wonderful Scheffler, multi-headed Scheffler on this side as well. So that's doing really, really well. So just go around the corner, got a bit more ricinus there. Got more Trachycarpus palms and red dragon persicaria. We'll do a full video of all the different Trachycarpus palms as we head into winter, so we can see them all and compare how they've grown. And that's a view back through this part of the garden. So now we're going to go into a very, very different part of the garden, different style. It's the part of the garden I've been working on a lot earlier this year, and that's the dry, arid garden. But before we get there, we've got to go over the bridge, which has had a bit of a revamp as well, with some handrails to make it a bit safer. We've got some nice daylilies here before the archway. If you look at the pond, we've got some nice princeps palms and yuccas down here. There's some nice xanthodiecias by the water as well. And then we'll go back to this side. We've got the waterfall, we've got the Gunnera tinctorias, and we've got the waterfall here, which is framed by the climbers, scramblers and Gunneras, and that's looking nice and mature now. And then we'll go under the archway of the chocolate vines, which are setting fruit. So you can see these fruits up here, which will be ready as we go into September. And then we go through the archway, and we've got the large Jabea palm here. Huge leaves, look at those. They're well over 2 meters long. Nice big palm tree. Got a nice red devil, a steely down there. It's been very, very hardy for me. Had it for many, many years. And then we've got these new paths. So we've got the old decking paths here, and then we've got the Cortine steel leading us through with the gravel here. So we've got a bit of summer bedding here, morsel and stomens. We've got the Gunners, the Arunda Donax Spanish reed up there. Got my New Zealand privet hedge, which acts as a bit of a windbreak, and I keep it to about sort of 2 meters tall, so it still allows lots of sunlight in. Loads of these amaranthus. I've not planted any of these. These are just self-seeded from previous years, and in fact this area will be taken up. So we've got loads of colocasias here which don't fit in with the dry garden scheme, so they'll be moved, but we'll follow the path round, and you can see it's nicely edged. It's very obvious where to walk. But then we'll pan round. You'll see my shadow probably in a second, and you've got this nice view of a lot of the arid plants in this part of the garden. So yes, Jabea is dominating this first part of the dry garden, but it's underplanted with agapanthus. We've got more tigridia, we've got arisemas, we've got cacti, we've got puntia down there. What else we got? We've got little agave planted out here. We've got Yucca lineafolia or linearis. We've got this nice Chimerops here as well. We've got an aloe polyphylla over in the centre, quite a nice specimen. And if we look up this way, we can see the Bryah amata palm, the yuccas. And if we go back to the path, it's quite deep shade at this point, but you can see more gingers in front of me, more of those zinnias and amaranthus here, and we'll walk past here, and then we've got the nice big bootia there. This is odorata with its huge leaves with a comparatively small trunk. And if I just pan round, a bit more tropical planting. All this has just come through itself, apart from the zinnias I've planted out. The rest has come back, so I've got all the eucomis down there, the colocasia pink chinas here, we've got some cannas, amaranthus, verbenas, dahlias, all sorts in this bed. And I might change it because I want it to be an arid garden, this part, so this probably will all get dug out after summer. We've got agave montana there, that's a big one there. Got another agave behind, and we'll go back and have a close look of those in a second. This part of the garden that I'm going to go down now, we won't be open on the open days, it'll be closed off, basically because the foliage is too much. You can't get past easily because all the palm trees are just in the way now of these paths. So I'll be changing this part of the area a lot next year, redesigning the paths. Got the tree ferns down there. Got a regersea down here. Lots and lots of bamboos I don't go into much detail about, but I've got lots of different types. The tree ferns are all doing well down here. You can see you've got the old leaves are browned obviously, and then you've got the new fronds all looking nice and healthy down here. If I turn round, got some hardy begonias down there, so obviously, like I said, nothing's protected, so all those begonias have come through winter. More cannas, got a paulownia up here as well, and got lots more Trachycarpus princeps hybrids like this one. Wonderful palm tree. Here we've got a bit of a dumping ground, got the play area, got the tree ferns, got the view to the open countryside behind, and I've cut down the hawthorn hedge, you can see a bit clearer, and if I move up you can see my huge eucalyptus trees that were planted when we moved in 10 years ago, and they're absolutely huge now. We've got regnans, we've got gunnii, and de Bouvillii here as well with the white creamish trunk. Really nice trees to have if you've got the space. And then we've got the bamboos further down there, so I'll just struggle through. Nice bamboos, got a Chiskea here, we've got Shanghai 3, we've got iridescence, we've got loads of Chiskea giganteus seedlings here that I keep saying every year that will pot up, and I will definitely dig these up. They don't like being disturbed, I've found, with a few that I have dug up, but I will dig up the rest of these because they're taken over now. And I want to change this area, so I do want to clear some grasses and bamboos to get more light to come through. Oh yeah, got a nice bootier there as well, a nice big one. So let's get through here. And if we just turn round, we can see one of my star palm trees. This is the Trachycarpus aureolus, with its quite distinctive leaves, pretty rare in cultivation. And I've said this last few years, but hopefully soon it'll be large enough to flower, because as we can see, there's a wasp enjoying the trunk there. This is, you know, the trunk's a good 6 foot tall, then you've got the leaves up here, so it should be mature enough, hopefully now, to flower, and at some point hopefully we can get seeds off that if we cross it with another aureolus. And I'll pan round and step back, and we can see Chimerops here, Briar, Jabea, more Chimerops. This is a nice view here of the dry garden. We've got this path again of cortine steel and different coloured gravels. We've got aeoniums planted out here, various different types. Desilarion here. Volcano here. Well, Cycas hasn't flushed, so it looks a bit pathetic at the moment, but it will flush probably next year now. And let's get a closer look. I'm going to go off the path and risk getting my legs cut by all the spiky plants. We can have a nicer look at this Agave Americana, which looks a bit like Francini. We've got the Obscura Lethantha hybrid agave there, which is done well. I said nothing's been protected over winter. That is true for everything apart from this arid bed here, which did have a rain shelter from November to April, so that did get protected. And we've got various agaves planted out. We've got Americana Variegata. We've got a random piece of ginger growing there, which shouldn't be there, and I will move that. Got another polyphylla. Wonderful blue form of linifolia, really nice one. A couple of more cacti, polyphylla down there. And then if I swerve round, this is my big yucca Faxona. It's got a nice big, well not a big, it's got a sizable trunk forming down there as well, so that's a good size now. Really nice plant, and that should get much taller in time and start branching and turn into a proper tree at some point. Let's get back to the path. My Phyllostatus nigra has not flowered like most people seem to have done, but I'm sure it will flower in the next year or so. Here we go down the path, more aeoniums, got some dahlias popping up here, tobacco plants, and some really nice echiums that I sowed earlier in spring, and they've made nice big sizable plants already, really healthy looking there. Quite sparse plants in here, lots of gravel, got some cosmos coming through as well. Got a nice good old Trachycarpus fortunii here, quite a nice healthy crown on that one. Eucomis polivensii down there, so that will flower in about 3 or 4 weeks time I'd expect. Biggest growing Eucomis. And this is remains of the tropical bed, although it's meant to be the dry garden. Still got all the colocasias that have grown up from last year. Well, from every year, because I've been here for a long time now. Got a nice Aeonium Superbang. Got various other Aeoniums. I've not done a close-up of all these Aeoniums, but there's plenty dotted about. And if you come on my open days, you'll be able to see those. And then another view here of the big Jabea, and looking back at that part of the garden. So it's the end of July 2023. I do these videos every summer, so personally I can look back and see the changes and how things have grown up, and hopefully it's useful and entertaining to watch for everybody watching this video, not just myself, just to see what you can grow in the UK. And growing all these plants here in Yorkshire, in the UK, and I've got a wide range of arid, jungle, exotic style plants. And basically, if you watch my videos on my channel, you can see how I've grown these over the years, and just to prove you can grow these sorts of the plants in the UK and make a wonderful exotic garden that can look good throughout the summer months, and with a lot of these hardy plants can look good all year round as well. So if you want to know how to grow these types of plants, check out my YouTube channel, subscribe, and you can see how I overwinter plants. But like I said, a lot of plants just look after themselves. So thank you for watching this edition of Exotic Gardening UK. Join me next time, where we'll be doing more in the garden.